Good evening, brave awakened ones. Veronica of Higher Realm Holistics here, Lady V. What's up? Um, Thank you, subscribers, supporters, Patreons, everyone with kind words and comments, and special thank you to those who send me cues. Ha ha ha. Yeah, cute. Question everything. This is one of my Lady V's teas that you could find on my website, men's, women's, children's. Okay. Um, Thank you for the heads up and the confirmation. Okay. I'm going to try to get through this video. I feel very bogged down, exhausted, wiped out from the energy. I have been literally, what time is it? Like 5:30 in the evening now. I've been trying literally all day to make this video, but I haven't not had the strength. I could barely breathe. The energy is like really heavy. It's like I'm walking through like quicksand. That's what it feels like, which is what it felt like last year's Lionsgate, but it was even more intense. I was flat on my back for 3 days. At least this time it's one day flat on my back. Um, like I had to get up and eat because I was like maybe eating some fresh salad, which I did, and avocado, and that'll help me, but I still feel like I could hardly open my eyes even after a shower. Any which ways, this is NRV36. Yes, I received confirmation about the Powerball. When it comes to that Powerball knowing, I call them knowings. When it's not exactly a remote view, I call it a knowing, because I'm just literally just sitting there doing my thing, cleaning, typing, whatever, and it's like all of a sudden the information's like in my head. When I received that knowing, that was actually a couple of months ago. And I was like, okay, I just took it as a personal thing, whatever. I write it down in my journal because I have a lot of knowings, a lot of things that I see that I don't talk about. So I'm like, man, whatever, it is what it is. And then last week, in the middle of typing and doing some work on my laptop, I heard the 10th of this month. So I was like, oh, okay, which is tomorrow. So I was kind of surprised a few hours ago when I received confirmation that, like around this afternoon or something, God, what the heck was his name? It's in my community page, okay? One of those Q following truthers, he posted about on his Twitter, which I don't have Twitter. I don't do Twitter. He posted, so someone sent it to me. He posted on his Twitter about Epstein receiving Powerball lottery jackpot. And that's what I saw. What I heard a few months ago was what I told you guys, but the full story is that, yes, they have control over those big jackpots, and it's like different factions over different jackpots. And there's a lot of it going on down here in South Florida. And so now I know Epstein was the South Florida connection, even though the jackpot he received was claimed somewhere else, but a lot of that's going to go down. It's like I was shown, like, now I know the Florida connection because it was I didn't know who it was or what was going on because this was months ago. Any which ways, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. The energy. Trying to sit up straight. So that whole thing's going to blow up. Okay. So they're going to try to cover it by allowing some regular people to win. Yeah. And also what I was shown is that, those shows where they show about My Lottery Life or whatever the heck that was. I used to watch those all the time because I thought, oh, how fun and nice. It's all bullshit. It's all hired actors. All BS. All that money, the big jackpots, it's all going towards the deep state. So that's what's going on with that. All right. But all that's coming out. It's starting to come out, okay? And then real people are going to start winning. But again, the pitchforks are going to come out. Let's put it that way. People are going to be pissed. Another thing I wanted to say, yes, another knowing I received. I was in bed early this morning. I turned around and it was a remote view, I was seeing people being drowned out. And it was now it's raining, but it was extremely sunny out. Sun was just rising, no clouds up until about an hour ago it started raining here. And I saw people being drowned out. And homes, in the Keys being destroyed, people being drowned out, water rising and creeping closer up here to where I am. I'm in the Miami Beach area. And then my oversoul guided me to go to the Miami Herald page. First thing I saw was federal officials buying land from destitute homeowners, and they showed one woman whose house was completely engulfed by rain and stuff and destroyed, and they were trying to put a positive spin on it where, oh, the federal government's coming to the rescue. And then I heard land grab, and then I was just taking this, probably why I'm so exhausted, I was like taking all across the US with the land grabs. They are controlling the weather, and I had mentioned this before, that New York is being flooded out big time. New York is going to be flooded out big time, Northeast, and that's how they're trying to destroy over here, the deep state. Like, they're throwing so much. They're just throwing shit at it. Really, they know they lost. This is their final stand, and they're not going quietly. Plain and simple, they're just not going quietly. That's what this 2-year battle is about, the cleanup battle. That's what it's all about, them not wanting to go quietly. So, yeah. So the East Coast, a lot of water, a lot of flooding. I see water coming up and flooding the islands, the Keys, and then coming up here, but not really flooding it out, which is why I was told to don't be on the side of the beach, move across from the beach, which is why, because I was on the side of the beach for 5 years, and then I was told move across the beach. Once my son graduated from he was in a school in the area, a charter school that was K through 8. So once he graduated from 8th grade, I went across, because then it would be a different district, literally. So even though it's the same zip code, so I waited till then and then moved across, and I was told you'll be safe here. So I know I'm safe where I am. But it confused me. I was like, okay, if the waters are rising, they kept telling people, oh, showing all those maps of Florida being underwater and the Keys being underwater and all that kind of stuff. For how many years now they've been showing those maps? And I was told, don't believe it, don't believe it, don't believe it. That is just, it's a glamour. It's a glamour. It's an illusion. It's a lie. So they could land grab. And I also, when I moved down here, I've been down here for 10 years now, there weren't that many tall buildings on the beach side where I am. Now it's wall to wall. My mother came here last year, and she was just like, didn't you live on the beach? And she's like, this is the same place, right? I was like, yeah, it's behind that wall of buildings right there. And the new mayor of the town came in, of where I live, and he sold all these special permits he gave, even though it was against the law to build on that side. You weren't allowed to build any more big buildings on that side because of the so-called flooding. Now, the whole scheme of it that's been going on is it was a land grab thing. Those billionaires came in, and they built a wall of these disgusting, huge, towering, I'm talking 50 floors, 30 floors on the beach, towering. It was a whole land grab. That's why that was done. And that's what's right now, they're using weather to drown people out in the Keys so they could land grab the Keys also. It's a deep state move. Okay. Now when it comes to Trump and China, who had done all that land grabbing out west with the farms and stuff, and then the deep state trying to flood out and back and forth and shit, and like Trump threw out the Chinese and trying to take back the land. What I saw happening with the Keys land grab was once the cabal is completely squashed, that the land is given back to the people who lost it in the first place. So that's what I saw. And I just kept seeing the image of me. My oversoul had me there, and it was just me looking over. And then I actually heard my oversoul say, you better get yours too. You can get some and you get to keep it, you know? And then I was like, well, I would give it back to whoever lost it. And then my oversoul, my guide patted me on the shoulder like, yes, you know, that is something I would do. I would not keep it after I know people would drown out on purpose. So that's what all the flooding and the water's going on with the East Coast. It's and the middle and the Midwest. It's again, this is their final. This is their last stand. This is the last stand. They're gonna throw everything at it and hope something sticks. Even if they don't care if their comrades don't get away, just as long as they get away, you know, with something, you know, because what's their alternative? Lifetime in prison, pitchforks, being hung, electric chair, gas chamber. That's what they're looking at. So of course they're going to fight like freaking rats in a trap. That's what's going on. It's going to be a 2-year battle. Well, you know, it's been going on. Let's say 3-year battle. It ends at the end of 2021. You know, 2022 is when we're finally in the clear and it's over. So it's a 3-year battle, I should say. So 2.5 more years of this shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And I also wanted to address, which I didn't at the other NRV, but I'm going to address it now. And it's going to be a tough pill for some people to swallow, okay? When it comes to these mass murderers and these mass shooters going around, these young men, have pity on them. If you're going to shed a tear for the victims of the shooting, bombing, whatever happens, shed a tear for them too. Because I was taken and shown how the one I told you that's going to do the bombing, what's going to happen, how he ended up getting that position to do it. They're betrayed by their own family. They're betrayed by their own fathers, by their own mothers. They're tortured. They don't even know what's going on until after it's done. And even then, they're just put in a trance where they're mind wiped. These are victims also. It's crazy. As crazy as they look, and you think, oh my God, these heart, and it literally breaks my heart. I'm not going to lie. I get very verklempt when I hear them being called monsters. I'm like, they're being made into monsters. You make monsters. And, you know, I think of when I worked adolescent psych at that hardcore adolescent psych lockdown facility. You could say, oh, it's a choice. It's a choice. Not in their case. Not in their case. Those kids that I met, yeah, there were some that they literally went through, it looked like they went through the Monarch program, really. It breaks you. And you have to remember, these kids are literally they're being trained. They are being programmed. A lot of the kids that I met, very few of them sounded like they were in a programming, you know, that they were being programmed. They were just being molested horribly and abused, you know, being made sex slaves out of. But the ones carrying out all these atrocities, they're literally being programmed. They are robots. Their souls have been captured, literally. I saw it. I was there. It's like I was part in that guy's body. Their souls are captured and caged. And once they are taken out and they're killed, like that last one that I saw with the bombing, I literally saw his soul, but it was like his ethereal body was there, and it was the energy I received were angelic beings. Like there's like a troop of angelic beings that heal souls. And they were working on him with light, like doing energy healing on him. And that's a lot of healing. So pray for their souls. that is what broke me yesterday when I was doing the video, and I had a tough time when I got that image of that young man who was dying of colon cancer, whose body literally rotted away, and he was there to have abscess, and it was so disgusting. People threw up. I was the only one who didn't throw up because I was smart enough to stick. I had alcohol pads inside of my face mask, so that's why I was able to stay there with him. But let me not start again because it was so traumatic for everybody. So it's not the death. In fact, I prayed for him to go, and I know his soul heard me, which is why he went. It's the suffering. It's the torture. It's the suffering, and the suffering is so immense. So have pity for them. Pray for them. Send healing for them, that their souls may find rest, because they may be sitting there in court looking crazy as fuck, and everyone's calling them a monster, and I'm hearing them inside, and they're trapped, and they're crying, and they're scared. So this is an ugly battle. So light workers, light warriors, send healing to them. Every time I see one, I send healing, because they're victims. They are victims. Hardcore victims too. Okay? So sorry for all the emotion. It's hard when because it's not just me seeing stuff. I'm there. I'm in there. I'm feeling everything going on. I'm smelling it. I could taste it. It's everything. Okay? So it's rough for me to shake this stuff off. I do my best. Not as hardcore as you think. I guess I could be, because I haven't lost my mind yet, right? And I've been doing it since I was like 5 years old. I've been seeing this stuff. So that's it. Lady V out. Thank you for sharing material with me. And I have my webinar coming up tomorrow, Saturday, for my Patreons who are $4.44 and higher. It's not a webinar, it's a Q&A. Ask your Ascension questions. It's via Zoom. If you sign up, you already got the link. That's how you access it, via Patreon for $4.44. And I already have it set up for my winner, my monthly winner, who won the 60-minute session with me. And if you sign up for $9.99 and higher, you get in the drawing. So I'll be doing it, of course, a drawing for September. And if you're interested in sessions, higherrealmholistics.com. If you're interested in my books, children's books and adults books, please go to higherrealmholistics.com, or my t-shirts too. This one is Question Everything. All right, Lady V out. Oh yeah, my webinars, you could still purchase my past webinars. Okay, you get the recording and the material, and the Higher Realm Magic is good for whenever you're ready. It's ready when you're ready. All right, Lady V out. Peace. We do have the victory. Bye.